Assalamualaikum. My name is Zarina. I'm from UiTM Puncak Alam, Selangor. So today I would like to present my research paper. The topic is about predicting the factors of humanitarian supply chain in the mentioned context. So I'm using the partial square or PLS. All right. So this is the topic for the paper. All right. So a little bit introduction about the research paper is about natural disaster. Natural disaster are unpredictable and also it often unavoidable, and many relief situations are poorly planned or unprepared. So humanitarian aid distribution is usually important in cases where natural disaster trigger immense physical danger or severe damage to the environment. This is according to Wan Ahmad and Abdul Rahman 2015. So, in the event of the natural disaster, the government and also the private agencies commit themselves to providing relief aid to victims. So, however, poor planning and also weak organizations result in inefficient use of relief supplies. Thus, this study focuses on predicting information and also identifying communication methods which will enhance the efficiency of humanitarian aid in a manner which ensure that relief directly reaches victims of disaster and meets their needs. Okay, so this survey was conducted among about 170 people who were victims of the flooding in Kelantan. So the resulting data was analyzed through partial square or PLS. So the results revealed that information was a significant for factors towards the humanitarian aid supply chain, while cooperation and communication were indicated to the less significant. So, and this study also solidifies the premise that the delivery of information is vital to the government, private agency, and also the victims involved. So, quick and accurate informations ensure that efficiency delivery of relief aid and also keep victims up to date in the supply chain activities. So, basically, Malaysia is not exempt from such situation. So in 2010, extreme flooding occurred in the country. So it affects several states and also impacting the socio-economic conditions of those areas. So, however, poor planning and weak organization result in inefficient use of the supplies. So basically under the problem statements, so it's about the humanitarian aid functions. So these humanitarian aid functions is to support victims in short term aftermath of the disaster. So disaster recovery usually takes up several months. So basically during this period, the humanitarian aid from government and also from the private agencies, NGOs, okay, such NGOs are vital to the survival of the victims. So, however, these efforts are complicated by poorly planned actions and also unprepared or absence of preparations. And also, these issues have also highlighted the deficiencies in aid distribution stemming from lack of information reaching the victims prior to, so during and following the disaster. Due to this, victims are unable to assess the help they need, okay, and flood victims who are not able to obtain timely and precise information consequently have less opportunity to effectively contact relief teams and communicate with those outside the selected area. Okay. Mm, the objective of the study focuses on predicting information and also identifying communication methods which will enhance the efficiency humanitarian aid in a manner which ensure that relief directly reaches victims of disaster and also meet their needs. Okay, so basically, supply chain management refers to handling of raw materials, yeah, information, and also resources, and also appropriately time aid and also proper policies can have an instant impact on the survival of victims. So this humanitarian aid delivery involved a huge amount of resources, multiple process, and many different stakeholders. So according to McLaughlin and Larson 2011, assert that humanitarian supply chain as a rule will be vulnerable and prone to wastage as a result of military or political interference, as well as the lack of coordination between these authorities. So this supply chain includes all processes which create a final product from its raw material and stage. So until it delivered, it is finished from to client. But as such, information and communication are vital in order to ensure that the process of this humanitarian aid distribution is as effective and efficient as possible. So, um, so this study, basically for the methodology, this study was conducted through quantitative research and also utilized a survey in carry out the data collections. The survey was carried out um, about among 170 individuals, members of the local community in Kelantan, and the convenience sampling method, technique method was applied to choose respondents who were victims of the flood disaster and were involved in the humanitarian supply chain distributions. So the data collected was analyzed through partial square in order to predict what are the effect of communications, the informations as factors towards the efficiency and also the effectiveness of humanitarian aid distribution practices in the Malaysian context. So the return rate of the survey was 92.9%, meaning that 158 out of 170 distributed survey were collected again. So the measurement model and the structural model are two stages of evaluation within PLS, and also the measurement model function to examine whether the indicators and construct shows validity and reliability within the study. Okay, and PLS will determine discriminant validity and convergent validity in order to verify that the indicators and construct within this study are reliable. So the structural model assess the hypotheses and also identify the path, coefficient, and also verify the predictive relevance of communication and also information in the context of humanitarian aid distribution. Okay, so so for the demographic factors, so this study was conducted among the local people or community in Kelantan. So among the respondent, the gender component was nearly equal within 78 male and 80 female respondent. So in terms of age groups, 69 respondents were teenagers, 79 were adults, and the elderly only accounted for 10 individuals out of the total numbers of respondents. A total of 95 respondents have between 1 and 5 members in their family. 53 respondents have 6 to 10 family members, while 10 respondents reported having over 11 family members. So this finding shows that the community being studied has the norm of large families staying together. Okay, so um, the result revealed that information was a significant factor toward the humanitarian aid supply chain, while cooperation and communication were indicated to be less significant. So this confirms that all three constructs explain 28.9% of the variance in humanitarian supply chain effectiveness. Okay, um, so for So in the in the assessment of the structure model, so a bootstrap analysis is applied whereby a large quantity of sample is gathered from the original data, and the models are then predicted for each of the subsamples. Okay, so the result of bootstrapping reveal t values which are evaluated in order to examine the significance of the past coefficients. So additionally, however, communication and cooperations did not exhibit significant influence of effectiveness. And additionally, the blindfolding analysis were carried out in order to assess the predictive relevance, which revealed the value of Q2 at 0.139. Since this value is greater than zero, it indicated that the model show acceptable predictive relevance. So, however, the range of this predictive relevance was considered small when compared to Cohen, okay, 1988, advised values for small, medium, and large at 0.02, 0.15, and 0.35 respectively. Okay, so for the conclusions, so these findings, the findings of the study indicate that local people must be given greater awareness of the condition during and also after disaster. So especially regarding the forms of aid which they are provided by the government, the private agencies. So specific solutions can be obtained by properly and efficiently managing what are the factors of communication, cooperation, and information. So these factors are also emphasized because of their ability to ensure that local communities impacted by disaster will find easier to seek out and receive aid. So in this way, the potential disaster victims can be in a constant state of preparedness in the face of a natural disaster. Okay, and governments and also private agency also must enhance the communications to guarantee that the information is delivered to the community accurately and quickly, right? So efficient dissemination of information and social interaction are vital to successful humanitarian relief efforts. So all parties that involve should exhibit consistency and also cooperation. So this coupled with a strong flow of information will collectively improve the functionality and also the efficiency of the humanitarian supply chain. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Stay safe, everyone, and have a nice day.